Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and last but not least, dear students and professors. A very warm welcome from my side. My name is Anna-Sophie Lux, and I'm the president of DASICON 2023. DASICON is the annual student conference which is fully organized by students of the Diplomatic Academy, and I'm very proud to welcome you today. We are currently living in difficult times. The COVID-19 pandemic had repercussions on every single country. The Russian war of aggression against Ukraine challenges our stable international world order. Climate catastrophes take the lives of thousands of people, and civil war and economic crisis in Latin America and the Middle East lead children growing up in a brutal environment. But I want to point out something very positive today. So we are all together in this room, coming from diverse backgrounds, coming from diverse countries, and we want to talk about globalization. Globalization is, from my point of view, a very important phenomenon. It's omnipresent, and it is in our daily lives. So for me, the most important thing about globalization is that we can stay connected, that we can interact, and that we can live with each other in these difficult times. So this year's DASICON edition is entitled Deglobalization, Untangling Our Present and Future Perspectives. I just want to mention why we have chosen this topic, because we did not have any guidelines. So first of all, as I've already mentioned, globalization has a lot of advantages, and it exists since the beginning of human being. However, since the COVID-19 pandemic, one could say that there is a trend towards deglobalization. So every country was closing its borders, every country was focusing on local production. So we want to know in what stage are we now? So are we living in a rather globalized or deglobalized world? And are there any differences between the different sectors? So we want to have fruitful discussions today with various experts. At this point, I also want to thank my team for all their efforts, because I don't have to lie, but organizing an international conference is a lot of work, and it did cost me a lot of hours of sleep, especially in the past days. However, I think we managed it quite well, and it's really an honor for me to inaugurate DASICON 2023 today, because after 2 years of online DASICON conferences because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's the first time that we have this conference in person. So it's now my great honor to introduce you to Ambassador Emil Brix, Deputy Director Martina Schubert, Vice President of ClubDA Brigitta Blaha, and Vice President of DASICON Anna-Maria Pfister. And I will leave the floor now to you, Ambassador Brix. Thank you very much for coming, and enjoy your day.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear DASICON team, dear students, you heard an introduction already to the conference, to the topic that we have today. And that's the idea of why we are here. We want our students to call the shots, choose the topics, call the shots, and find answers with experts from everywhere, if possible. I think this year is a very good example for that. Students are always choosing big topics. Last year it was sustainability, it was the green change. And this year it's I don't know what it is actually. It's globalization, deglobalization. It's the open question what we mean when we talk about how connected are we with each other. And this is one of the issues that I think we have to discuss in such an open way. What I think is especially good for such a meeting, one day talking about how close are we to each other in all aspects, is important because it gives you the chance not only to talk about the usual supply line issues that we have everywhere, but also to talk about what about cultural interconnectivity, what about relationships in politics, how much is the Russian invasion and the Russian actually activities around the globe an expression of deglobalization, Or maybe it's a consequence of globalization. When we think about the use of specific military instruments. So there are issues that are interlinked, that you can discuss in such a way, and it's challenging. And my final word, just as a welcome, is it's also about how fair and just is this globe. Because if one thing is sure, globalization means more hegemony to the big ones. No way denying it. I am not an anti-capitalist saying this. This is the data that we have. This is the experience that we have. If we don't act to make sure that all people profit from globalization, it's going to be more hegemony for the big ones and the rich ones. But actually, I'm here to join you in this optimistic introduction you heard before I was speaking here. So welcome and enjoy the day. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Mrs. President of the DASI, Ambassador Brix as our director, Vice President of ClubDA, Ambassador Brigitta Blaha, Vice President of DASICON, dear students of the Diplomatic Academy. It is a particular pleasure for me to address you this morning and to welcome you at the conference of the Diplomatic Academy Student Initiative, DASICON. It's my first DASICON, and I have been looking forward to it since the first days of my function as Deputy Director of the Diplomatic Academy, when I have met one of the members of our Hall of Fame, Mr. Thomas Resch, who I welcome very much here today, and to whom goes also my big thank for ensuring once again the financial support of the city of Vienna as sponsor of this event. I really would like to stress that the Diplomatic Academy Students Initiative, the DASI, has invested enormous energy, as has been mentioned, a lot of work in the preparation of this conference. And as an institution, we are really very proud and thankful to the prestigious sponsors. You see here so many on the screen today that continue to support their work and the work of our institution. Thank you very much. The subject of today's conference, Deglobalization, Untangling Our Present and Future Perspectives, is timely and of extremely actuality, as was already so eloquently presented by our Director Brix. Many newspapers and think tanks have recently dedicated an article on the subject. It is a subject with many facets, some of which today's conference will touch upon. Deglobalization versus economic growth, its role for environmental protection. How does deglobalization go together with our technological development? Deglobalization and public health of particular relevance after a global pandemic. The impact of global sports event, we just have to think about the Football World Cup or the Olympic Games. And last but not least, the importance of cultural interaction in today's world. I would like to welcome very much also all the high-level speakers today that had followed your invitation at today's conference. They are from very diverse backgrounds and nationalities, which shows on one side the pertinence of the subject in all the different areas, and on the other side will give us, I'm convinced, great food for thought and encouragement how to deal with this very complex issue in our present and in the future. I thank once again the students from the DASI for their dedicated work in preparing this conference and look forward to the panel discussion. I wish you all a very interesting and pleasant DASICON 2023. Thank you.
Good Good morning. Ambassador Brix, Vice Director Martina, President, Vice President of DASICON, Excellencies, faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here on behalf of ClubDA, the Alumni Association of the Diplomatic Academy. To all who are not yet familiar with the ClubDA, I would like to recall that it's one of the oldest alumni associations in Austria that was founded in 1969. It was established with the aim of enabling alumni to easily keep in touch with each other and the DA after the completion of their studies with the slogan, "Your home after graduation." In addition, this worldwide network provides strong support to DA alumni on their path to a successful career. Over 60% of DA alumni have joined the club so far, and it has now over 1,800 members in over 100 countries, and with 14 active local chapters in different European countries and the Americas. The club has a local agenda with the aim to firstly support current students through career services, network, and scholarships, thus supporting the next generation of DA students, making sure they can receive the same excellent academic education which alumni enjoyed, and enabling them to start successful careers. Since 2011, the club has been awarding up to 5 scholarships annually. Secondly, the club wants to connect the global DA alumni community through a broad range of in-person and virtual events, networking, and the career platform DA Connect, and through already mentioned local chapters. The club is happy to also support student initiatives like the ball, which will take place a week from tomorrow, the Students' Magazine Polemics, and this annual conference DASICON, which is fully organized, as we have heard already, by students of the Academy and has been taking place since 2005. This year again, you have chosen a pertinent subject, Globalisation, Untangling our present and future perspectives, and invited relevant international experts from diverse backgrounds to address the subject in different panel discussions, always keeping in mind the role that diplomacy may play in an ever-global and connected world, increasingly dominated by new technologies. I trust you will hear interesting presentations, and I wish this conference critical discussions throughout the day, inspiring students, stakeholders, and the general public to look at the problems of our world today with a critical eye and a look into the future. At the end of a certainly successful conference, you may want to join the after-work clubbing, jointly hosted by DASICON and the ClubDA at the DOTS Hidden Club. Wish you a good day.
A warm welcome also from my side. Thank you for joining us for this special event today. My name is Anna-Maria Vista and I'm the Vice President of this conference. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our sponsors, Stadt Wien and Magister Thomas Resch. Without their generous support, this conference would have not been possible. I would also like to extend our gratitude to ClubDA, who connects DA graduates and DA friends since 1969. ClubDA is a valuable partner for us, and we appreciate their collaboration. A special thank you also goes to Rotary Club Vienna Maria Theresia for their contribution to this conference. Rotary Club Vienna Maria Theresia is an English-speaking club in Vienna with international membership and bears the Diplomatic Academy's founder, Maria Theresia, in its name. We wish to express our sincere appreciation also to our alma mater, the Vienna School of International Studies, or as we students like to call it, the Diplomatic Academy, the oldest postgraduate institution of its kind. Given our diverse student body, with students from all over the world, multiple academic background, and all at least bilingual, We are all in a way being educated in a spirit of global citizenship. Furthermore, our sincere thanks also go to Magister Peter Lux, who supported the DASICON financially. We are also grateful to Ströck, Makava, Ferslauer, Derrickson & Co. and Periton for providing us with delicious refreshments and snacks. Your products are much appreciated by our attendees. Last but not least, I want to thank our amazing teams and heads who worked tirelessly to make this conference happening. Their effort was incredible and helped us to achieve our goals for this conference. Therefore, we would like to show our deep appreciation. Moreover, I would like to acknowledge Xenia Sumkina as the head of speakers, Anna-Sophie Fevre as the head of marketing, Emma Odrarashchan as the head of logistics, and Adityan Putenvitil as the DASICON treasurer. You and your teams have done an incredible job. This conference is also a unique opportunity for us to learn from experts in various fields and exchange ideas with each other. We are delighted to present 5 panels and 8 breakout sessions in total, covering topics such as global markets, technology and innovation, as well as diplomacy in a globalized world. Each session will be moderated by one of our students from the Diplomatic Academy, who will facilitate a lively discussion between the speakers and the audience. Interaction remains one of our key priorities, so we encourage you to participate actively and by asking questions and sharing your opinions. Throughout the event, there will be simultaneous sessions taking place in 2 distinct locations, the Bruno Kreisky room over there and here in the Festsaal. The diplomatic panel will be hosted here in the Festsaal, while the global markets panel will take place in the Bruno Kreisky room. The program, including the locations of each session, will be available on both the website and on the posters on the walls. Additionally, the room for the coffee break is next door. We hope that you will enjoy this conference as much as we do and that you will gain valuable insights from it. Without further ado, I will now hand over the floor to our moderator, Xenia, for the diplomatic panel, and I invite all the participants who are interested in the global markets panel to walk over to Bruno Kreisky Saal. Thank you.